Come and listen to my story about a man named Jed. A poor mountaineer barely kept his family fed. And then one day he was shooting at some food, and up through the ground come a bubbling crude. Oil, that is, black gold, Texas tea. Well, the first thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire. The kinfolks said, Jed, move away from there. Said, California is the place you ought to be. So they loaded up the truck and they moved to Beverly Hills, that is, swimming pools, movie stars.
The Beverly Hillbillies.
Oh, thank you, Ellie.
Anything exciting, Jed?
Could be. Here's a letter from Hooterville, and it's for you.
I bet it's from your sweetie, Sam Drucker. Sam Drucker ain't my sweetie. He's crazy, mad, head over heels, desperate, in love with me. But, oh, it ain't from my sweetie. I mean, Mr. Drucker. It's from Betty, Joe, and Steve. And here's a picture of the baby. Look, ain't that a purty family?
It is for a fact.
Looks like they celebrating the baby's first birthday. Land sakes, it don't seem a year that I doctored the little darling.
I'm sure it does fly. She's probably toddling around by now.
I'd love to see her.
Me too, and all the other folks at Petticoat Junction.
Same here. Why don't we just haul off and go?
Oh,
Ladies, please. I know I'm an exciting thing to see, but get a hold of yourself. Uncle Jed, ain't this uniform something? Drives women wild. Even my own kid.
They was cheering something else.
That's the truth. I am something else.
Will you be quiet, loud mouth?
Uh-oh. You done sassed a 4-star general. I might just throw down on you with a court-martial.
You ain't gonna throw up.
Now, stop your squabbling. I'm going to get packed and ready to go. The rest you do the same quick as you can.
What's he talking about? Go where?
To Hooterville.
To see the folks at Petticoat Junction.
That's what we was cheering about.
Yeah, we wasn't cheering you, General Lunkhead.
Now watch it, civilian. That's your second offense. One more and you're in real big trouble.
Jethro, why don't you go change so we can leave?
Change? I paid a whole week's rent on his uniform. I still got 6 days to go.
Well, ain't you supposed to join the Air Force and then get a uniform?
No. They might start me out as a colonel or something. General gets a heap more pay.
Well, I guess you know what you're doing.
Well, if he does, it'll be the first time.
Number 3. Now you're going to find out what happens when you insult General Buzz Bodine.
What's buzz mean?
Buzzard, what else?
That tore it. Now hear this. Your leaves is canceled, your liberties is withdrawn, and quick as you fix my breakfast, you're going to march 20 miles with a full pack.
Says who?
Says United States Air Force. The Air Force backs me up, and the Air Force gives me authority.
Well, then let the Air Force give you breakfast.
Hey, you take this skillet and get busy. Now, that is a direct order.
Jethro, if I was you, I wouldn't.
What do you say now, General?
Reckon that'll teach you a lesson. You done ruined a good skillet.
Well, I see you're all ready to go.
Very nice of you folks to drive us to the airport.
Our pleasure, our pleasure.
To drive there, you wouldn't have to leave your bank.
Oh, that's all right, as long as you don't leave my bank. What? You don't plan to stay in Hooterville long, do you?
Oh, no, just a visit. Granny, Ellie Mae, come on, our ride's here.
Oh, Mr. Clement, don't pick up those bags. You could hurt your back. Miss Hathaway?
Shucks, they ain't heavy.
Where's Jethro?
Oh, he went out to the Air Force Base for breakfast and didn't come back.
Yeah, They probably never tried to feed a four-stomached general before.
You mean to say Jethro wore that general's uniform?
That and a lump on his head.
Granny, they may just keep him out there, that Air Force base.
Not the way he's. Come on, Jed, let's get going.
Aren't you concerned about Jethro?
Oh, he knows how to get to Hooterville.
Sam!
Did you look at that?
Yeah, I heard it.
My golly, Howard, that's one of those military helicopters.
It is?
Yeah. And there's a general getting out. And he's heading this way.
You reckon we're being invaded?
Well, I don't think so. You don't usually find a general leading an invasion.
Thanks a lot. Roger, we're going out.
Hey, look at those ribbons. And 4 stars. That's an important man.
At ease, civilians. Here. Have a cigar.
Well, thank you, General.
Thank you. You're welcome. Air Force give me a whole pocket full of them. Give me the sunglasses, too. Real nice bunch of fellas. Went out to this Air Force base for breakfast. Happened to mention I'd like to go to Hooterville. Man, you should have seen them fellers jumping around. Snapping salutes like they was brushing flies. Offered me my own plane. I'd have took it, except for one thing.
What's that?
Don't know how to fly.
You don't know how to fly?
Not yet, but I'm fixing to learn. They such a nice bunch of fellas, I'm thinking on joining up.
You're thinking of joining?
That's right.
Where'd you get that uniform?
At a costume company in Hollywood.
Wait a minute. Ain't you Jethro Bodine?
I used to be. Now I'm Buzz Bodine. Right at the Pentagon.
Jethro, you know what you can get for wearing a general's uniform?
Not exactly, but I bet it's plenty. Oh, here comes my train. I'm going to the Shady Rest Hotel and get that there fella Steve Elliott. Give me flying lessons.
Well, Jethro, I wouldn't wear that uniform.
I don't blame you. Wouldn't come close to fitting you.
Steve, a general. Hughes Airport?
Yeah, it was Uncle Joe's idea. He thought Mr. Hughes would be so flattered he'd lower the rent.
Did he?
Well, when it was Hughes pasture, I was paying $18 a month. Now that it's Hughes Airport, he's raised it to $25.
Good old Uncle Joe.
What'd you start to say about a general?
Oh, yes. There's an Air Force general at the Shady Rest.
You're kidding.
He has 4 stars. Is that a general?
Boy, is that a general.
No. This is a chance for you to make some extra money.
Oh,
Well, he wants you to give him flying lessons.
a 4-star Air Force general? And he wants me to give him flying lessons?
That's what he said. Isn't it thrilling?
It's crazy, that's what it is.
Why?
Honey, I was in the Air Force for 5 years. I didn't even see a 4-star general.
Well, you'll be nice to him, won't you?
Nice to him. I'll shine his shoes, draw his bath, and serve him breakfast in bed. But why would a 4-star general come to an out-of-the-way place like this?
I told you. He wants you to give him flying lessons.
Honey, somebody's joking.
Do generals joke a lot?
No, I've heard that they don't.
Oh, well, you can ask him yourself. Here he comes.
That really is a 4-star Air Force general.
Now, don't forget to be nice.
Don't worry. How do I look?
Terrible.
Thanks. General, sir, this is a great honor. I believe you met my wife.
Betty.
Yes, sir, Betty. And I'm her husband.
Steve.
Yes, sir. That's right. Betty, Steve. That is Steve and Betty. We're the Elliots.
I haven't seen my husband this nervous since we had a baby.
Yes, sir, that's true. We did have a baby. Oh, not while we were in the Air Force. That is to say, I was in the Air Force, not my wife. You see, she's a girl, so she... Sir, my wife tells me that you want me to give you flying lessons. I realize, of course, that the general's joking.
Nope.
You want me to give you flying lessons?
Yep.
See, Steve, I told you.
He don't catch on to things too quick, does he? Come on, boy. Let's get on up there and wild blue yonder it.
Where have I heard that voice before?
He said he was called the pride of the Pentagon. Maybe it was there.
Somehow that voice doesn't have the ring of the Pentagon.
Hey, where's the starter?
It's beginning to come to me.
Me too.
Hey, how do you start this rascal?
The engine's inoperative.
Well, let's fly over there and get it.
Jethro. Jethro, what do you think you're doing?
Learning to fly so I can join the Air Force.
Do you know what you could get for wearing a general's uniform?
Everybody asks me that. Must be a bundle.
What you could get is the federal pin.
No thanks, no pen. Uncle Jed don't want me fooling with nothing sharp.
Jethro, let me explain it to you.
Lots of luck.
Thanks for the jitney ride, Andy. I'll get the bag.
Please go and take the train out to the Shady Rest Hotel.
Give our best to your family.
Bye, Andy.
Andy don't say much, did he?
No, but when he does, it sure ain't worth listening to.
Hi there, Mr. Drucker.
Well, Ellie Mae and Granny.
Hello, Sam.
Howdy, Sam.
Well, Mr. Clampett.
Jed.
Jed. Jed, Granny, Ellie Mae, I'd like you to meet my friend Howard Hughes.
Oh, hi, Mr. Hughes.
Howdy, young lady.
Proud to meet you.
Pleasure's all mine, ma'am.
Any friend of Sam's is a friend of ours.
Well, thank you.
Oh, Mr. Drucker, you got a new cat.
Yeah, I call her Marmalade.
Howdy there, Marmalade. You sure are pretty.
Jed Clampett's fella I was telling you about, Howard, struck oil on his land back in the hills.
I wish it'd happen to me.
Howard's biggest landowner in these parts.
Do tell.
What have you got on your land?
Well, last year, I had a flood. And the year before that, a drought.
Don't let him fool you. He does all right. He raises barley, corn, rye.
You can make good stuff out of them.
Granny.
I mean stuff like bread.
Sure you do.
If you ever happen to come by my place, drop in. I'll give you 3 fingers of bread.
What did he mean, Jed?
There's our train to the Shady Rest.
Hey, Jethro's already out there.
Jethro's in Hooterville?
Yeah, come in a few hours ago. Was wearing an Air Force general's uniform. Said he was going out there and get Steve Elliott to give him flying lessons.
I'll go out and flag down the cannonball.
Sam, I think I'll go out to the Shady Rest with the Clampetts. I want to talk to Steve about rent on Hughes Airport.
Okay, Howard, we can finish our game later.
What a darling baby.
Cutest I ever did see.
Can I hold her there, Joe? Oh, sure you can, Ellie.
And now be careful, Ellie. That's not one of your critters.
I love Granny.
Look at that. Ellie and that young'un take to each other real natural.
Oh, Jed, wouldn't it be nice if Ellie had a baby of her own?
Yeah, but first it'd be nice if you had a husband of her own.
Come on, Jethro, you look just fine.
Uncle Joe ain't exactly a snappy dresser.
Believe me, it's safer than wearing a general's uniform.
Boy, what a come down. From pride of the Pentagon to a Hooterville hick. Hey, you're still going to give me flying lessons, though, aren't you, Steve?
Oh, I'd like to, Jethro, if I had a safe plane, but well, that old crate of mine is falling apart.
Would you like a new airplane?
Would my wife like a mink coat?
I'll go ask her.
Forget it.
Well, that's okay. My Uncle Jed's got $90 million. Hey, Uncle Jed, can I see you for a minute?
You're right there.
And I'll have some money of my own, too, now that I'm a retired general. Well, ain't I entitled to a pension?
I wouldn't put in for it if I were you.
Steve, that's a mighty fine little baby. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Clampett.
Hey, Uncle Jed, would you buy Steve a new airplane?
You need one?
Well, yes, sir, but I don't expect you to. I mean, that is, we'd pay you back, naturally.
We?
Well, Uncle Joe and I are sort of in business together. What he calls Carson Elliott Enterprises. We have this crop dusting service.
Say, Steve, I'd like to talk to you about the rent on Hughes Airport.
Could you talk to Uncle Joe?
Yeah, if I could find him, but he always hides, comes first of the month.
See, we keep our plane in Mr. Hughes' pasture.
Airport.
Yeah.
You hurting for rent, Steve?
Oh, I'm hurting for everything, Mr. Clampett. My plane's in pieces, and we work out of this broken-down shack.
Airport terminal.
Yeah.
I got an idea. Why don't we all go over to the pasture? Airport, and look things over.
Fine.
Hey, I'll go along. You all can use the expert advice of a retired Air Force general.
Where are you going?
We're going over to see Steve's crop dusting airplane.
He does crops with an airplane?
Yeah, you see, Granny, you fly real low over a field. And
Steve, I'll explain to her. She don't understand aeronautics like I do. You see, Granny, airplane's got a fan out front called a propeller. It spins around and makes a big wind. Understand? Well, anyway, Steve flies low over the fields, and the wind blows the dust off the crops. That's what you call crop dusting.
Beautiful, General. Mr. Clampett, if you like the idea of buying out Uncle Joe, I'm sure he'll be amenable.
Well, I don't want to get him riled.
What I mean is I think he'd like it. And we could call the new company Clampett Elliott Enterprises.
Wait a minute. I want in on that. After all, this here is my pasture. Airport.
That's fine with me.
Me too.
Sam Drucker says that everything this here man touches turns to gold.
Well, I guess it's just a question of making the financial arrangements.
Well, why don't I call my banker, Mr. Drysdale, and have him to handle it?
Nearest phone's Drucker's store. I'll go flag the train.
Good. Where's Jethro?
Oh, looks like he's checking out my plane. I'll get him. Jethro?
Yeah?
This is impossible. There's no opening between those two cockpits.
There is now.
Well, listen, we're going over to Drucker's store to call Mr. Drysdale. Get out.
I wish I could, but I'm stuck.
Jethro, when the Air Force lost you, they lost a great general.
Thanks. Will you please help me get out of here?
Mr. Clampett, you and Mr. Hughes go ahead and catch the train. This may take a while.
Yes, operator, I understand. Thank you very much. Bye. Well, I'm sorry, Chief. There's no telephone at the Shady Rest Hotel in Hooterville.
Oh, fine. We've lost touch with our largest depositor. $90 million going to go down the drain like that.
90 million is safe. It's here in your bank.
All Jed Clampett has to do is write one check and this bank becomes a parking lot.
Hello? Yes, just a moment. It's Hooterville calling.
Don't accept it. It's disaster. It's bad news.
What's that, Mr. Clampett? You're buying Carson Elliott Enterprises.
I told you, there it is. Doomed. We're a parking lot. He's blown $90 million.
Did I understand you correctly, Mr. Clampett? You're going into business with a man named Howard Hughes?
Hang up. Either one of you. Howard Hughes? Give me that phone.
Mr. Clampett, it's me, your friendly banker.
Oh, howdy, Mr. Drysdale. Yes, sir, that's his name, Howard Hughes. I met him down here in Hooterville. He's the biggest landowner in these parts.
I thought most of his land was in Vegas.
Well, it might be, but part of it is in corn and barley. And then, of course, there's the Hughes Airport.
Mr. Clampett, could you describe Mr. Hughes to me?
Well, yeah, he's right here. He's, I'd say he's a kind of a ordinary-looking fella. Kind of tall, lanky. He's got on an old shirt, a pair of work pants, and some old faded sneakers.
It's him! It's him! Howard Hughes, the billionaire.
Wouldn't you know that he and Jed Clampett would get together? Money goes to money. You've heard me say that 100 times.
No, I haven't.
You will.
Mr. Clampett, do you think Mr. Hughes will agree to do business with my bank?
Well, hold on, I'll ask him. Howard, you mind doing business with Mr. Drysdale's bank? Jed, if it's okay with you, it's okay with me. Howard says...
I heard him! I heard him! What a beautiful voice! Like an angel.
Seems kind of ordinary to me. But anyway, Howard and me is going in the airline business. Would you handle a financial arrangement?
I'll be there on the first plane, and don't let Mr. Hughes out of your sight.
Okay. Okay. Yeah? Okay. Bye. Never hear that man so excited. He says you got a very famous name, Howard.
Well, that ought to be famous. I've been selling corn, barley, and rye in this valley for over 30 years.
Take him on, Jed. He's too good for me.
Sit right down there, Mr. Clampett. What do you prefer, reds or blacks?
Well, I'll take the ones on this side here.
All right.
It's no use, Jethro. I can't get you out of there.
Hey, where you going, Steve?
To get a saw.
Hey, oh no! Not that! Take me out of here in one piece! Please, Steve, help!
Black hat, black boots, black belt. Bad news for the bad guys. Walker, Texas Ranger. Weeknights at 6 on the Hallmark Channel.
They found a bone, a human bone, and I just found the rest of the body. A body.
From the Hallmark Hall of Fame collection.
We have an explosive case here.
Comes a secret too dark to uncover. The Runaway. Tuesday night at 9 on Hallmark Channel.
Come back now. Here.